Hello and welcome to Canotillo Combos, the official Canotillo ISD podcast. I'm Gustavo Reveles, the Director of Communications for the school district. With us, of course, our fearless leader. Fearful leader right now? Dr. Pedro Galaviz.
Fearful.
Fearful. Yeah, right now it's fearful time.
Fearful. It is. It's because the budget.
The budget.
It's budget. And we're not the only ISD fearful.
And I want to make sure I acknowledge
Laura.
Hello there. Pushing buttons.
Pushing buttons. But the important buttons.
Yes.
But yeah, Doc, I mean, we saw our sister school districts start to have conversations about the budget and the implications that are coming down because of really inadequate state funding down to our level. I think people always assume that this is created by our actions, when in reality, this has been an issue with the state not giving us enough funding for the last 5 years. Unfortunately, districts that we look up to and we work with, like Socorro, are facing dire times, and we're looking at our own budget, and we're in similar situations where our budgets are not looking healthy like they should be.
But it's not us, as we're reading this morning, Aldine.
Yeah.
I mean, that superintendent is phenomenal. If I could be a superintendent, I want to be her.
Yeah.
I mean, she's awesome, Latoya, and they are closing schools because of the budget.
I mean, our neighbor next door, EPISD, is closing school because of their budget.
Schools and Isleta and Socorro having to borrow money just to make payroll. And anytime you're and it goes back to what Dr. Hinojosa was saying, the conservator for Socorro. Anytime your credit card,
you can't use your credit card to pay your mortgage, right? And the state has forced us to do that. I want to explain this real clear, Doug, because I think people, they just hear school districts are in financial crises, and they think like, well, they mismanaged their funds, or where's that money going to? Who's getting rich? And cut the superintendent's salary, cut the whatever salary. What they don't realize is that the state has not changed the way they fund us in 5 years, since before COVID.
Well, that's why that malarkey, that BS, that our Commissioner Barath is going around saying we make $15,000. We get $15,000 per kid. That's
we
baloney.
Don't. We get $10,000 less.
We do. I mean, the state's contribution has been the same.
It's not changed since before COVID.
The formula, basic allotment.
And I ask any parent here that's listening: have your prices for your bills, your Walmart bill, your light bill, your mortgage, has that changed? Has that not changed since 2019? Because it sure has for me.
Oh, mine has changed. I mean,
right?
Your mortgage.
My mortgage went up significantly. Okay. But so what I'm saying is, the state expects us to pay our bills and run our schools using formulas from 2019, when our costs are just basic costs, even if we were at the same level as 2019, are not the same.
And that's just one variable.
That's just one variable. Yeah.
The other variable are charter schools, and now with vouchers. I was listening to a podcast, one of our representatives, I think he's from the East, I forgot his name, the guy that says, Governor Abbott has privatized education.
Oh, yeah, the state rep?
Yeah, what's his name?
His name escapes me, but he's phenomenal.
When he speaks,
he
says, he has taken from the poor to give to the rich.
And that's exactly what's happening.
Yes, that's what's going on. And again, no one's talking about it. That's why my fellow superintendents, in this area, it's like, why aren't you guys livid? What are you holding on to?
Why are you not upset about this, right? Why are we not, like you always say this, Doc, why are we marching down I-10 to Austin to really show our displeasure at this? And it's not just displeasure, like it is impacting the way we operate things here.
Well, it's impacting the quality of schools. So when you say quality schools and public ed, and all you're doing is destroying public schools. Public schools are for sale, and that's what that guy, that representative.
And I'm looking for his name, and he's so good. I should remember his name. Here it is. James Tallarico, Representative Tallarico.
Where is he from?
I don't know exactly where he's from. He's a former principal, former teacher. He's a state rep now. I'll find out where he's from.
He's awesome.
But he's just fantastic. The way he really voices this.
Hit Moody, hit Gonzalez, hit Senator Blanco.
I think we do need.
I don't hear their voices. Yeah. I heard it during election time. Yeah. I heard it during November.
We truly need advocates, and I will say that when it comes down to voting, they're voting. The El Paso delegation votes in favor of public ed. But you're right. We do need strong voices.
I don't need your vote. We need your action.
Voices, yeah, and someone that's gonna step up, because education in our region, education in El Paso, it's not just a right. It's transformative power here. Like, our community is changed when our people are educated. And if we don't take care of that, we are going to suffer tremendously as a community.
Yeah. And that's what you want.
Yes.
You want to stop that generational poverty. And that's what our numbers are seeing, because the Ganadillo child, what we're seeing is state comp ed is going down.
Yeah.
Because the demographic of our child is no longer bilingual. It's no longer low income. It's no longer
dual
language.
Yeah.
It's getting kids with a fluent.
And listen, that's great. Our community's changing, and we are seeing. We see the home construction on the other side of the freeway.
We weren't lying.
We weren't lying.
We weren't lying.
We see, and we'll get into that right now, Doug.
Let's get into it.
But we are changing. But the reality is, we still have tons of students with dire needs, low-income students, students who don't speak English, students who are at risk, and the state's taking away funding from us that would go directly to serve those kids. Again, where is the fairness in this thing? We're the only ones speaking out, and we're not being listened to, because they're still going through with vouchers. They're still going through with keeping state funding the same way. Why aren't people rising up to say, like, hold on a second, this is harming our community. This is harming our schools and our families.
Well, we remember we talk about that, because educators, we're humble.
Yeah.
It's an oxymoron. We are rule followers. We follow rules, right? We like rules. Sit down. Don't run in the hall. We're used to rules. When someone gives us rules, we follow them, and we're complacent.
Yeah.
And this is not the time to be.
Well, it's not.
But also we're teaching kids to be good citizens and to advocate, because you want your Martin Luther Kings, your
Cesar Chavez.
Yeah, your Cesar Chavez's. You want your kids sitting in that to advocate when things aren't right. And not worried about books in the library.
Yeah.
But worried about, kids not getting food, proper educating kids, making sure that we have a very strong workforce for tomorrow. Again, those reading scores in America, especially in Texas. I mean, we rank 47th in the amount we pay our teachers.
And Doc, it's no secret. I spoke to media about it last week, and your message to the community last week resonated to the point where we got a lot of phone calls about it. But we are going to face a multi-million-dollar deficit. We're working on the final numbers right now. We will talk to the school board on Tuesday about this. We're going to have to make some hard choices, right? It's not a secret.
Well, and then when you say, some of the not tos, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's not good for kids. Well, shoot. None of this is good for kids.
Yeah, people, when we're talking about cost-saving measures, right? And people's like, well, that's not good for kids. I'm like, yes, we know. We know. We are taking action right now based on a crisis. None of this is good for kids.
None of it, and that's why
None of
it's
it.
like go to Austin right now. Call 1-800-AMIT.
Yeah. And-
He wants to come here to take pictures at Vinton Steel.
Yeah.
But what about public schools?
Yeah.
And let's not even mention the packages that I see a commercial on that he's going around saying it's not going to help public schools. It's going to help teachers.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's good. Teachers deserve raises.
Yeah.
Teachers should get that money.
Yeah. So the Senate this week passed the bill that still needs to be passed by the House and signed by the governor, but it would increase salaries for teachers. And listen, awesome, love it. Our teachers deserve more, but that won't do anything to help us balance our budget. It will not increase our state funding. I think we need to do that, and we need to give teachers a higher salary and give us more money to balance.
And again, I haven't read the bill. I read highlights of it.
Yeah.
But my question to the people who proposed this is, how are we going to sustain that raise next year? Is it a one-time?
I mean,
Or is it like now we're already in a deficit?
yeah.
Now we're going to have to...
If it's an unfunded mandate, it's going to bankrupt school districts. This is a significant amount of money for teachers. It will bankrupt school districts. And I know it's well-meaning on behalf of some of these legislators. They want teachers to make more money. So do we.
The irony.
But
I was in a classroom at Damian, and thank you, Principal Castillo, and the teacher in the 5th grade classroom, because I'm going to probably get them French fries on Monday when we come back. But they're talking about financial literacy.
mm-hmm.
And thank you to Raiz and Max and Pearl and Mr. Morales, who were there teaching the kids about dividends and interest. And so it's kind of like here we are talking about money where we have to actually deal with it. And these kids are learning about money. And one of the little girls says, well, if you don't have money, you can go broke. We're going to go broke.
Yeah.
And again, it doesn't delineate from the expenses that we have. For example, hey, shout out to Coach Morales and the varsity.
Yeah.
I made it to the Sweet 16. But again, that took money. You had to get a bus. You had to make sure they're fed. And again, you want our kids to excel.
Yeah. Well, as a matter of fact, the governor this week put out a statement saying, don't believe what you're hearing. Vouchers will not decrease funding for football. And I'm thinking, the heck it won't. The state doesn't send us money specifically for football programs. They send us money to balance our budgets.
Yeah,
And school districts have to make those hard choices.
They don't know how many players go out when you
Yeah.
have JV, varsity.
Yeah.
They have to. I've seen some ISDs cut their freshman team
Yeah.
because no uniforms for the freshman team. It's just JV and varsity, and that's all. And you cut your 7th and 8th grade programs because it's not UIL.
Yeah. We've considered it before.
an option.
It's one of the options, right? And I know, and again, none of this is good for kids. None of it is. But these are decisions we're faced with. And I already hear some members of our community, that have been very negative towards us, saying like, well, that's because Pedro mismanaged, the district mismanaged. No, we didn't mismanage anything. Come check out our books. Come check out our books. What's going on here is that our costs keep going up and our funding keeps going down.
No, I agree. But again, people are trying, are just that negative Ned, negative Nancy.
Negative Neds and Nancy.
Yeah, they just don't want to, I don't know. I want to spend time with them.
Well,
Because again, you're always going to have that. And that's part of the...
I will say this, Doc. There is a light at the end of the tunnel for us.
Oh, yeah.
There is a light.
Listen, we told you 3 years ago, build a school.
we did pass a bond in May. And
A
again,
third time.
A third, yeah. Well, and let me.
I'll rub it in.
Well,
I don't mind rubbing it in.
I'll let you rub it in.
I like to rub, what's that stuff
But let me
on my ribs or what are they called?
let me be clear real quick because
Rudy's barbecue stuff.
because we hear this all the time, like, well, didn't we just pass a bond? Why are we in a deficit? That bond, those $389 million, can only be used to build schools. We cannot pay salaries. We cannot pay bills. We cannot. If we do that, we're breaking the law. So let that sink in, people. That money can only go towards building those campuses and improving those
We
campuses.
told you 3 years ago that we needed schools in different places in our.
Part of the reason we're in the situation we
You
are
say it
today.
nicer. Go ahead, say it nice.
Part of the reason we're in the situation we're at right now is that we don't have enough students. Our enrollment is down, right? We would, if the 2021 bond would have passed, and we told them back then, if this doesn't pass, we're going to be in hard times. We would be opening schools in high growth areas in our district this year.
Yeah.
We would be normalizing and stabilizing our enrollment right now.
And that's why when people talk like your negative Neds and negative Nancy's, it's like, dude, we told you 3 years ago.
We told you.
And you still voted against it.
Yeah.
You still voted, even again, some of our active community members. And they still, one of the board members who ran against the bond. And it's like, really?
Employees.
Yeah, employees.
Yeah,
It's
we know we have aides and other people out there that are very vocal against the bond. And here's the situation. We said 3 years ago we needed this. We needed these funds to normalize and stabilize our enrollment. Make sure we get all those students that are leaving to EPISD and charter schools to come to our schools. They don't come to our schools not because we don't have good schools. They don't come to our schools because we don't have a school in their neighborhood.
Convenience.
It's convenience and proximity, right? So we're gonna 3 years from now we're gonna have schools in their neighborhoods, and we're going to normalize that enrollment. But we have to wait. Now it's a wait and see.
Now
Told them 3
it's
years
survival.
ago. Yeah, it's survival.
Yeah, tighten our belt. And again, last year it was 28 central office employees.
Mm-hmm.
This year we're going to do a 2.0. We're going to recommend.
Yeah.
And we're going to, our job, my job is this is how we're going to balance the budget.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to make a decision, board. It's about fiscal responsibility. Because in my message last week, I used the B word, bankrupt.
Yeah.
And if we go bankrupt, we become, then we're going to have the state comes in and takes us over.
And to be honest, I think there's a lot of people out there that want that, right? They want state oversight because they're part of this new movement that's emerging where they want to harm public education. And that's been a trend lately. And they don't realize that when states take over school systems, it is not good for a community.
It's not.
It's not good for a community.
Speaking of, leaving,
Yes.
it's intercession.
Yes, we're going to.
What should we tell kids in the community?
So there's most of our kids are going to be off for the next 2 weeks, right? Most of our kids are going to be enjoying their time off, resting, getting ready for the rest of the school year, testing and what comes after that. We're going to have a handful of students that maybe need a little bit of extra help. We're going to be working with them Monday through Thursday of next week. Our teachers are going to be on helping them. Our staff, our offices will be open for this upcoming week. And the week after that is spring break. The week after that is when we're all off.
But I think one of the things I want to mention is measles.
Well, and there's that,
because people are going to be traveling. They're going to be traveling to West Texas. They're going to be traveling to tourist places like San Antonio, Dallas,
or visiting family somewhere else.
Visiting family, or families are going to come in.
So we want people to be mindful of that. We've already seen confirmed measles cases in the Panhandle, in the Seminole area. We know we have families that have family members that work in the Panhandle in the oil fields. So we want people to be mindful of that, especially if there's unvaccinated people out there. Be mindful of the risk of infection. Be mindful of people coming into your home that may be visiting during the time off. This is the measles is no joke. Thankfully, most of us are vaccinated, but there's A, breakthrough cases, and B, there's a lot of people that don't want to be vaccinated right now for one reason or another. So just be mindful because it is no joke. The measles.
Well, here's a question, and I don't know. I'm gonna say it. Remember Dr. Fauci during COVID?
Yes.
Yeah.
So RFK is our new Dr. Fauci?
Yes, sir. No. Dr. Fauci was a
Epidemiologist.
was a from yes, but he was basically a consultant to the federal government regarding that part. But he was not the Secretary of Health Services.
Okay. Who was the Secretary of Health?
I don't even know.
Oh, because everybody's waiting for RFK to come out with these.
Yeah. So
I mean, try not to laugh, but
well, like it might require a bear on your car roof or something, but
vaccinations.
But vaccinations are we're waiting on any changes that might come. Of course, right now we are continuing with our requirements to vaccinate and the exceptions that exist, but know that we fully believe that vaccinations are necessary to keep our children healthy in our classrooms.
Stay healthy, stay happy. I told the kids in Reyes, go and get wealthy.
Yeah.
Go and get wealthy.
Believe me, so that's
Nothing in life is free. Everything has a price.
yeah.
Now, are you going anywhere? Spring break?
I don't know. Well, I'm trying.
You're not going to West Texas, are you?
No.
You're not going to Seminole?
I'll be going to Tucson, maybe.
Are you going to Tucson?
I don't know. If I go anywhere, yeah.
How about you? You going anywhere?
Me? No, I'm going to good old El Paso, Texas. I'm going to be doing some side gigs.
All right.
And working
love you
too,
all.
but-
You'll be good.
Have a good break, everyone, and hopefully the outlook is better for us.
Yeah. Better to give thanks. Thank you to the Reyes class who I read to for Dr. Seuss
Oh yeah,
on Wednesday. And again, JDE, thank you. Principals, you guys are awesome. And again, teachers, staff, love you all. Be good, stay healthy, and let's get wealthy. All right, peace.